It's pretty wild. We live in this era where you have literally every tool to improve your life, like right in your pocket.
Right, absolutely everything.
Yeah, like you know exactly how to eat better, how to exercise, communicate better. But then you just don't do it.
You just stay stuck.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's like having this amazing sports car with the full tank of gas, and you're just sitting in the driveway staring at the steering wheel.
It's an agonizing awareness, really, because, I mean, you aren't lacking the map. You just, you can't generate the momentum to actually put the car in drive.
Right. And that frustrating gap like between knowing exactly what you need to do to improve your life and actually doing it, that is what we are exploring in today's deep dive. It's this concept from the research called conscious inertia.
It's a huge issue for so many people.
Totally. Okay, let's unpack this. Because our mission today is to show you that being stuck like this, well, it isn't a failure of willpower.
No, not
Or
about.
physical laziness.
No.
It is actually a highly complex psychological defense mechanism.
Yeah, to understand why you can't just force yourself to act, we really have to look at your biology. Your body aggressively resists change to maintain homeostasis.
That stable, predictable state of equilibrium, right?
Exactly. See, your brain is a massive energy hog. So to conserve fuel, it relies on your basal ganglia.
Okay, the basal ganglia.
Yeah, which basically acts as your brain's autopilot system. It executes your daily routines without burning extra fuel.
Oh, so overriding those routines is what drains you.
Right, because you have to use your prefrontal cortex, that's your active decision maker, and it burns a massive amount of cognitive energy.
So wait, is it basically like a smartphone on low power mode where your brain literally, I don't know, throttles the processing speed of your prefrontal cortex just to keep the basic operating system running?
That is the perfect analogy.
Yeah.
Your biology literally perceives the effort of changing a habit as a metabolic threat. So it just floods your body with resistance.
Wow.
We call that the energy efficiency trap.
Ah.
And then you have to add something psychologists call secondary gains.
Secondary gains. What's that?
Well, we subconsciously maintain stagnant behaviors because they secretly benefit us, like procrastination.
Okay, yeah, everyone does that.
Right. But it isn't just you being lazy. It actually offers this immediate secondary gain of temporary anxiety relief.
Wait, really? So staying in a dead-end job isn't a lack of ambition at all? It's actually this subconscious strategy protecting you from the fear of failing at a new career?
Exactly. It functions as an emotional shield. Because your brain desperately wants to conserve energy and avoid that fear, it invents these incredibly clever ways to make you feel like you're evolving.
Without you having to take any actual risks.
Right.
Like getting trapped in endless preparation. The research makes this brilliant distinction between motion and action. Like, motion is spending 3 hours researching the perfect diet plan.
Yeah, and action is actually just eating a healthy meal.
Exactly.
What's fascinating here is how easily we confuse intellectual evolution with behavioral evolution. Like, motion feels productive, right?
Oh, totally. You feel like you're doing so much.
But it's an illusion. It's driven by heavy cognitive traps,
Yeah.
like the sunk cost fallacy of the self.
Right, the idea that it's too late.
Yeah, we overvalue the time we've invested in our flaws. We think, well, I've spent 20 years being an anxious perfectionist, so it's too late to change.
Man, that's heavy. But I get the internal fear. Though the sources also mention something called the crab bucket effect, which is more about our social circles. How does my friend group keep me stuck?
Subconsciously, you fear that if you grow, your current tribe will ostracize you.
Like if I become highly ambitious, my laid-back friends might resent me.
Precisely. Conscious inertia keeps you safely camouflaged in your current social dynamic, so you avoid the pain of rejection.
Man, if my brain is fighting me this hard to conserve energy and, avoid social risk, relying on raw willpower just seems like a losing battle.
It absolutely is a losing battle.
So what does this all mean for you in your daily life? I mean, how do we actually bypass this system?
You have to manipulate your environment through a friction audit.
A friction audit, okay.
Since willpower is finite, you increase the physical friction for old habits, like literally unplugging your TV. And then you decrease it for new habits.
Like laying out your gym clothes the night before.
Right. You make the evolutionary choice the path of least resistance. And you pair that with the 2-minute rule.
Which is basically shrinking the requirement down to something absurdly easy, right?
Exactly.
Like, don't commit to a grueling 60-minute run. Just commit to putting on your running shoes. But let's be real here. If I just put on my shoes and sit on the couch, I haven't actually exercised. Aren't we just tricking ourselves?
Well, sort of, but for a good reason. Your amygdala is a threat detector. A massive goal, like a 60-minute run, triggers the alarm because it requires too much metabolic energy.
Right, the low power mode thing again.
But just putting on your shoes, the amygdala doesn't register that as a threat, which allows you to slip past your own biological security system.
Oh, wow. So initiating that physical momentum shatters the psychological block.
Exactly. Once the body is in motion, the hardest part is over.
Yeah.
From there, you just reframe your mindset around discomfort as data.
Discomfort is data.
Okay, awkwardness and exhaustion aren't stop signs. That psychological fiction is literally the physical sensation of your brain rewiring itself.
I love that. The awkwardness means it's working. So to recap here, conscious inertia is not a character flaw. It's just an outdated protective mechanism keeping your smartphone on low power mode.
Perfectly said.
And you don't cross the gap with massive leaps of motivation, right? You do it with tiny, deliberate steps.
Yes. Personal evolution is just a slow, deliberate rebellion against your own biological defaults.
It really is. And I think that leaves us with this final thought for you to chew on today. True personal evolution requires the death of an old self. If changing your habits fundamentally alters your identity, are you prepared to mourn the comfortable, familiar versions of yourself that you have to leave behind to finally succeed?